because they charge into the B site. They find it for free. Arch completely willing to give up the bomb site as Softfit kicks it off.
Yeah, it's a retake for Spirit as they look to pull themselves back into the site. Bomb yet to go down, but 2 kills have been found. Make that 3. Nice shot from Arch. But here's the plant from Nemiga, and here's where we need the T's to find frags, and find frags quickly. As MDS, an aggressive angle down on B, but he's got to be careful. There's 2 players here towards Monster. As he holds the angle, Spirit time the push, and they get 1. Something trades. Now the push into B will just clean up the final player. Roman dead in the water, and Spirit 8 rounds with 4 players surviving. Good retake. I was a bit worried with the B retake setup when we had so many SMGs in play from Nemiga, but it works out at the end of the day. So 8 rounds here from the CT side, and looking strong.
Yet, in this game, have we watched Nemiga convert a terrorist-sided point. That's 3 rounds to the board, immediate resets every time. And even when they're winning those rounds, of the 3 of them, 2 are 1v1 situations. And then, of course, that first round was only 2 players up. So never has the economy of Nemiga had a chance to cultivate itself. Never have they been able to groan. And so it's back down to pistols yet again. They're barely scraping together any kind of a T side at this point. And it was the A side aggression from Spirit that panned out, seeing as they had so many players immediately to the flank of Nemiga, and Arch is able to not only exit the B bomb site, but shut down that very forward push, keeping his team in the man advantage, giving them no after plants to play with. And while Hitmouse cleans up a kill off the Glock, it's still the 4v4 with guns aplenty here on the side of Spirit.
Yeah, and commitment up towards Long, Arch on the other side, and a free kill for him. He even spots a second player moving towards a rock, but he blinds himself on the retreat. Will still get away with a fallback, and while 1 gun has been grabbed on Hitmouse, I'm not sure how much success that's really going to have. Davkos missed his shot and had to fall back, but now he can just call for rotations. He's still got a player up on Long aggressively. He can drop back and help if need be. These rotations are taking a while. Deagle not only just getting in the sight, but look at Roman. He's pushed all the way up close. Davkos won't expect it, and another Deagle kill comes in. Luckily, this long flank we talked about, it will work out. Arch with a double, and Robbo with only a Glock to play with. It's Spirit with the 9th round, as you would expect after that eco.
Yep, continuous conversion points whenever they're able to get back their momentum. And as it should be, right? They're not faltering versus the pistol rounds, as we saw versus Prosto on Nuke. I just don't think that Overpass plays into the strengths of the pistols the same way Nuke would. No flooding of those bomb sites. It's not easy to close the gap to the bomb sites quickly. And by the time Spirit are just choked up on site, they've already found themselves earlier contact because they're playing aggressive, because they're willing to throw away an M4 solo down in that connector. You know, it gives Nemiga a bit of an opening, but it gives Spirit an advantage and information to play off of. So they're really coming into their own here on this CT side. And unfortunately for Nemiga, this is their map pick. So Struggles is not what they would have wanted, especially when we saw such a commandeering win versus Not Bad just this prior series.
Yeah, and it's especially scary when Spirit don't put a lot of time into Overpass as well. This is not a frequent map for them, so even more worrying. I was expecting it more along the lines of like a Mirage train kind of lineup for today's match, but no, the curveball went in, and so far the curveball's not worked out for Nemiga, but we'll see. We only need, I'd say, you know, for this team at this point, like get 5 rounds on this T side, move over, win pistol. It's still in the cards, but with 3, they're going to have some real struggles. So they need to get going now. Again, very split up for Nemiga coming into this round. We've got 3 players outside of A long, but the other 2 players down on B, they're playing solo, and this worries me. Because again, if Spirit set up and go for this aggression towards short, there's no trade potential. The only time when Nemiga have actually punished Spirit's aggression is when they've had 3 or more players there.
But at least showing some presence over here towards long. Nemiga's going to establish map control. They haven't cleared the bottom side of mid, and that's exactly where Davkos continues to pry with his AWP. So if they make contact to his advantage, could be another 5v4 to the favor of Spirit. Again, no op play coming out of Cyberfocus, but it's the economy that just hasn't been able to afford him that luxury. And while we have watched Nemiga put their players back through connector and wrap the bomb towards B, they know, of course, that there are no over-aggressive plays being taken by Spirit, so they can anticipate players split between these bomb sites.
Now set up outside of B and 30 seconds left. We've even got Molotovs up for this CT side, especially Sotvik down on B. As Nemiga start to push in, this is where the danger starts. Hema close, spraying, but he's blinded. Will be Coldy to bail him out for support, but only 1 kill. It's so far going in the favor of Nemiga. Luckily, the AWP is still up, and if he can drop the bomb, this could be massive. Davkos holding that cross. The smoke allows to the plant, but Davkos just jumping right in. As he goes into the site with support from Arch, already he's left in a 1-on-3. Arch dropped, and Davkos needs to go big, but he's already given away his position and missed the first shot.
Cyber Focus is going to apply himself, and he gets denied for it. Headshot instantly connects, and Davkos still has time as he jumps in, takes another frag, and leaves it all on Roman. So he swaps to the CZ and looks to find the peak. He gets it! The headshot and the 10-second defuse. Is there time? I think so. What a clutch from Davkos.
You can see him on the little camera there laughing after that clutch, how ridiculous it was. Why are Nemiga facing him now? Why is a short player trying to fight an AWP? Just back off. Play passive. You have the position towards B long. You have short. Go for the crossfire. Wait for him to attack the bomb. There's no reason Nemiga should be fighting. And again, they're just... Every possible situation when Nemiga have a chance to get back into this game, they lose it. They win a round, they get reset. They get in a 3-on-1 post plant, Davkos clutches. It's silly mistakes from Nemiga now. It's coming back to haunt them. We're getting late into the half. There's only 2 rounds left, Connor, and they've got no money for this one. So they've got a maximum of 4 rounds pretty much at this point.
I would be gleaming after a shot like that from the sidearm. Nemiga, unfortunately, still back on just pistols. At least they have the additional layer of utility to play off of. We can see the smoke grenades being primed into this B bomb site, which is currently stacked up from Spirit with 2 quick rotators to come down heaven. It's a mirrored position as to the last round, but Dima's fully blind, so he's going to spray, ambitiously taking at least one, and Colby's able to hold things off with another frag towards Robo. Roman removed, Dima with a headshot, and Spirit now on 11.
Do you know the craziest thing about all this? Think about all the setups we've seen towards B from Nemiga, right?
Yep.
Arch, the A player, is 23-6. 23-6 as an A player, and we've seen probably more than half of the executes from Nemiga down on this B bomb side. They've all been cleaning up. He's just been rotating back in and doing work. Great performance from Arch. Davkos following up closely behind with Soplik as well. Spirit looking so good coming into this first map. I am very scared as we carry on into this series, but it's the last buy of the half from Nemiga. Their last chance to get this 4th round, and at this point I'd say it's required. If they want that buffer moving in, this is going to be what they need to get. No AWP of play for Cyber Focus. Full rifles up, but already losing the man himself as MDS trades towards B short. It's another kill coming in for Spirit. They're not allowing anything to slip through their fingers.
I feel like Nemiga's T side is becoming more and more disjointed. Yeah. We saw those earlier bomb site stacks where they were just waiting for the aggression from Spirit, but this time they solo peek a man on long, lose it to the op. MDS tries to apply pressure randomly through short B, then gets traded out after 1. And while Robo's just been given a saving grace, catching Davkos over towards that long position, now they've got something to work with. Bit of a weird scenario that's just unfolded here as we lose that man advantage from Spirit, but obviously Nemiga not able to make any kind of a commitment as they don't even have the bomb, and here we have it again.
This is Spirit. This is so Spirit. Look at them. They've already pushed up short. The only thing, this could work in their favor. Roman has no idea, and if he doesn't spot them, this could be massive. The 4x3 catches him out, and they turn back around. Sopvik takes him down. This is ridiculous for Spirit. How are they winning these gunfights? I have no idea.
Another headshot. Robo's all that's left over here in the 15th and final round. He'd need the 1v3, and he's going to tap the head of Dima to kick this off. In the meantime, grab the bomb, and now able to smoke himself as well. That does ensure the plant. It's a 2-pronged retake from Spirit with a nice frag grenade to open it up, softening Robo, putting him on 34 and allowing for Sopvik to clean it up. It's a commandeering lead from Spirit, 12-3 on the CT side of their opponent's map pick.
And the craziest part is, you think about all these rounds that Senior Spirit got aggressive and lost the man advantage so early on into the round, and they've still recovered from all of these pushes. They're still 12-3 up. So despite Nemiga constantly taking man advantages on this T side, they are failing to convert rounds. And again, to wrap together 2 on the T side didn't even happen. They got 3 rounds, all of them separated by resets. Dear oh dear.
What a lights-out performance from Arch thus far. 23-6 in the opening 15 rounds. As you said, a player on the opposite bomb site of the one which was constantly hit there from the T side of Nemiga. So it's safe to say they need this pistol in order to start what could be the comeback. Cyber Focus still sits on a single frag in the entirety of that half. I mean, we watched that happen in the opening series as well, where he was shut down in the first map and they struggled because of it. We're going to see it he can at least get something started. Roman sure has, as he takes the head of Dima and shuts down a little bit of connector control, where now Nemiga are going to decide to push. I mean, they've got 3 CTs in this position, but Colby's able to drop 1, and now they're being pinched in. They don't want to fall off from this. They don't want to give up that map control, but it's just going to immediately transition to the retake. And 2 more kills, both the way of Spirit. It's all on Cyber Focus, and that's an excellent way to kick things off if you're on the team of Spirit.
What a great way to catch Nemiga out in the connector, though. Not allowing them that rotation to get back into the bomb site. Bomb goes down, and we have 2 players holding that connector for the rotation. Just really well poised by Team Spirit. Again, depended heavily on the setup from Nemiga, but it worked out. Not like they needed any help here. 13 rounds. This is a ridiculous map for Spirit so far. Not what we expected coming into the map pick, as you said, in Nemiga. And pistols out again here for the CT side as they force things back up. Armor, CZs, Deagles, you got the lot. We've got Spirit already set up early outside of B, taking control. They're only running double rifle this time, but I don't think it even matters at this scoreline. As they set up towards a B play, it looks like they're just going to burst in with the help of a flashbang, and that will be the case. Roman close, blinded, but it's actually the T's blinded more, and Roman finds both. His MDS in support, but the flank from Dima comes in, and he just cleans. Triple kill with the UMP, unable to be traded, and Nemiga with 2.
Here's Sotvic with a response and a headshot of his own. Cyber Focus removed, and Spirit now 1 round short of securing OT. 1 hell of a games thus far from Spirit, but Dima really saving that moment there. We watched, again, Spirit struggle versus pistol rounds on Nuke when it came down to the game versus Prosto. And that moment there reminded me of that entire map. But Dima, crucially, killing all 3 of those players and surviving with only 5 points of health. So that could have easily gone the other way and given a chance for Nemiga to get back on the board. But smiles are justified at this point because Spirit are in full control as they are versus a pieced-together purchase from Nemiga. It's a scout pump and 3 pistols for them to play off of.
Not the best situation at near map point. Arch already trying to catch out Robo. Will go down, and actually the UMP of MDS finds another one. So Nemiga already starting things off well. And considering Spirit, they've already got 2 out of the 3 players on rifles here. This is starting to look dangerous. AK player tagged up, that's Coldy. And Davkos hit significantly as well. This is turning out to be a good round from Nemiga. They might pull themselves back in it here after all. But it's definitely not done, and we've seen Spirit pull themselves out of dire situations before, but this is a great angle. Cyber Focus holding for the entry back up towards A. So not only does he get the information, but he gets a chance to get a tag, potentially a kill on 2 out of 3 of these players, and then just to fall back. Not even take the risk of dying here. Team Spirit should not be able to hit the shot. Unfortunately, though, for Cyber Focus, they're coming through the connector, and no one's there here for the CT side. Cyber Focus, the only A player, going to begin to back off, and now we see the T's burst down again towards B, or at least Sotvic does. Hitmouse close, won't expect the angle, and Sotvic trades back into a 3-on-4. And with Cyber Focus falling back right now, this A site is looking ripe for the taking, but Spirit still down on B.
Yeah, he's hesitant to rotate fully here, Cyber Focus, but the more presence shown towards this B site, the more likely he is to fall off of A. He still remains jumping around these boxes, trying to spot contact, but they've seen Sotvic as well, and everyone here from Spirit sitting sub 40 HP. That is a stacked B bomb site that they're about to walk into. Another frag off of the Deagle from Roman, and the pistols might have done it. They absolutely have. Cyber Focus nearly finds the last frag, but it belongs to Roman, who with that Deagle does a great job of keeping himself as the top fragger here from Nemiga. Still at a positive 3 kill-death split, 18 and 15, as Nemiga get a bit of a saving grace and keep Team Spirit off of overtime point.
But again, it's not like Spirit don't have rounds to play with moving forward, so that's why we see this ambitious buy. They keep a bit of money in the bank, but Mac 10s and CZs is going to be the name of the game here for Spirit moving forward. Hell, this could realistically work, but the issue is they're setting up towards connector, not B. So not charging into that bomb site, but aware that Nemiga will likely have Molotovs and HEs. So a very dangerous endeavor to go towards that site as they just start to charge up towards toilet already. Roman starting his rotation, Cyber Focus and Robo falling back. The scout needs to go big, but it's Robo to start things off. Quick trade, back and forth there. Robo still defending this bomb site, shutting down the horde of Mac 10s. And Spirit left to just 1 man alone. This round should be done and dusted. It is. Nemiga 5 rounds. Finally, they can wrap 2 together.
Yeah, the first time in the entirety of this map. That's something to say in and of itself. But we are watching them start to stabilize here on the CT side. And we are watching Spirit come back in with a gun round of their own. So, as you said, they had rounds to play with. We see that in the force buys. We see that in those ambitious pushes. And now it's back into the business. AKs and an utility on the side. Definitely a chance for Spirit to secure themselves OT, and as you said, so much space to play with here. Massive 9-point advantage.
And no rush here for Spirit. They can slow things down. As they sit outside of the B-bomb site, 4 out of 5 players. Sophic just coming to join the crowd. And actually just going to flash himself in. This is very, very basic here for Spirit, but it could work out. However, Robo on the other side, M4 in hand, and 3 kills come through. Arch supporting Robo, caught with his pants down, but even a team kill in the midst of all things. This is going to be a shutdown round if I've ever seen one. And Nemiga not having trouble finding their third in a row.
Yeah, here we go. Starting to get themselves a bit of a composure on the overpass. I mean, we watched them play versus not bad, and they were great on both sides. 16-4 win, we didn't really see much of that second half, but now they're starting to stabilize. It's unfortunate for Nemiga that they just had such a bad first half that they've really pinned themselves into a corner. Their margin of error is minimal. And so even with these few rounds being strung together, even with Spirit back down into economic woes, it's only a matter of time before they can get an op on Davkos, full buys yet again. And we were going to watch a very real test here for Nemiga. But 3 pauses still remain from Spirit as this first one comes to a close, and that means, of course, that they'll have all the time in the world to try and figure things out on this T side.
Again, the fact that they just went for a straight-up B setup through smoke just shows, at the moment, while they've still got this massive buffer, just throw in some silly rounds, try and catch them out on a whim, and then if things start to get tough, that's when you throw in actual setups, actual defaults, go properly serious, because maybe they don't want to show anything away into this map. If it's a 14-6, they just want to do whatever's easiest to close out this map. And Cyber Focus, ooh, very close. I do like that old wall bang, but it won't connect. Team Spirit just with pistols this time, 1 armor on Arch, and everyone else just there. As they set up towards Connector again, a focal point for Spirit, as it has been this entire map. Robo already forced back out of this, towards the A-bomb site, sorry, out of the toilets. And Spirit taking control, but with a close smoke up. Robo just playing on the other side. The issue is, again, we've seen Spirit rush through smokes. They have a no damns given attitude. And Robo's got to be careful.
Always a good play to use those pistols inside of Connector. Able to close that gap quite quickly. And if you take an early fight, you're not left at too much of a disadvantage. But now it is the disadvantage for Spirit. 3 versus 5, no primary guns to play off of, no utility, and not much of a chance to get into the A site unless Cyber Focus gets caught out, but he dodges bullets and then picks up the headshot onto Sotvic. Excellently done as he closes it out with a trio.
Yeah, just a few rounds ago he was on 1 kill, so nice to see him have an impactful round. Alas against pistols, but there's still time for this comeback as we see the AWP start to get back into play. Again, this is something that you mentioned. We haven't seen a lot of AWPing for Cyber Focus in the first half. Again, they didn't convert any rounds. They never wrapped together 2 on their T side, so the money was the issue for Cyber